What's up, guys?
Hi! There's always one little thing.
Oh, now there's two little things. For some reason, my comments went into the video chat.
Oh, that's okay. I know you can fix it. Okay, so Larry Sharpe is here, everybody.
Hi.
Thank you for coming on the show. I'm so excited.
But I would like to have the magic potty baby thing too. Can I have that?
I can play it again while I'm
If
fixing
you want to, you want to see it again? This one's for Larry.
Sure. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
He Dadman, we call him Dadman, likes when we play that commercial for him. So Dave's gonna fix the comments. So thanks for coming on. This was last minute. I'm really glad that you were able to.
Yeah, this is really exciting.
Yeah.
Oh, good. We're rocking and rolling. No problem. Usually when he asks me to do stuff, I try to be good to him. I try.
Oh, thanks. Thank you.
Yeah.
And his mom is here. Dottie is in the comment section right now. She's a huge fan. She's super excited.
I like Dottie.
Yes. So what's been happening with you? What's going on lately? I mean, last time I saw you, I think it was in here, and David and Peter were interviewing you, and it was right before.
That's the best question you got from me. Come on,
well,
give me something good.
Well, I don't know.
We're not really interviewers. We're just kind of...
We're just here to hang out. Dadman said... Yeah, just relax and hang out with Larry Sharpe. I'm like, that's what I do.
All right. I guess we'll hang out then. That's fine, for sure. What am I doing? I am trying to keep the fire going. I'm trying to keep it going. As you know, I'm doing at least 2 or 3 events still every single month. I'm still out there going on podcasts, coming on places like this. I don't want to end. The problem is, and those of you who've been part of the movement for a long time know, the normal way of people doing things is, I'm going to run and I'm going to win because I've got the liberty message and they're all going to vote for me and I won't raise any money, but magically I'll win somehow. And then when I don't win, I'm now mad because the system's against me and the party sucks and I'm out of here and I'm going to do this. That's what I get every time.
Yeah.
I'm trying to change that. So I built a team, I built a movement. And I knew I was probably going to lose. I was hoping to win, obviously. Yeah. But I knew I had to keep going. And even if I had won, if I had actually become the governor, I'd still have to be working. New York State wouldn't all of a sudden magically become great because I won.
Right.
So I'd have to work either way. So I'm still working. It hasn't changed. And I don't want people to think that because you run once and you don't win, that all of a sudden now it's over. No, it's not over, right? I have one advantage over many of the other people who run. I've had my ass kicked multiple times already in my life, so failures don't affect me as much as it affects many others.
Oh, that's great.
Yes, so I can fail and get back up and keep going. So I'm still going. I haven't stopped. You shouldn't stop. And now I also get to talk trash. When people run, I get to go, you're not running well enough. See, I ran. So now I can point my finger at you.
I love that attitude. That's fantastic.
I've got street cred now.
Yeah, you do. How did you get involved? What was your start in politics? How did you get into the Libertarian Party? Were you always Libertarian? Did you grow up in a Libertarian
You guys don't know this story. All right, let me give you the story. I have an odd story when it comes to this. I'm not like most people. Most people either they got in trouble by the government, they're mad at the government to become Libertarian, or they came through some type of economics, like they read Mises or something like that, right? They came that route, one or the other. I did it all. Politically, I was lost for many years. As a small kid, I was raised in the Bronx as a Democrat because that's what you were. In the 70s, you were just Democrat, and that's how it was. My parents were Democrats, so I guess I was Democrat. I never really joined any party. I just assumed that's what I was. But I joined the Marine Corps when I was 17 years old, and if you might not know, or you may know, the Marine Corps is the most conservative of all the branches. So when I was 18, 19, and 20 years old, almost every man that I respected, that I cared about, that I was prepared to die for, literally, they were almost all conservatives. So I think I kind of became more of a Republican as that age, 19, 20, 21. I think I moved to become more of a Republican. But I didn't really care much. Then all of a sudden, I just thought everybody was bad. I mean, they all just sucked. So I became a guy who liked Perot because Ross Perot in the 90s was not them. Mm-hmm. Right. Anybody who wasn't them, I was in. I didn't know his policy. I couldn't have told you any of his policies. Then I became a Nader guy because Nader was not them. So I was whoever was not them. Again, I couldn't have told you any of Nader's policies either. But then in Obama, when 2008, when Obama came by, I was swooned by Obama. I thought he was going to be the new guy. He's different. He's going to change everything. Oh my God! I was totally. I fell for that. I fell for the Obama thing. I thought, okay, now this is the right answer. And then he was the same as all the rest. And at that point, I was like, forget it. I don't really care anymore. This is all garbage. I don't care. And I wasn't even going to vote anymore. I was done. After Obama, I was ready to just end it. I didn't care anymore. And then I heard Gary Johnson speak. Now, while for most people, Gary Johnson was not a great reason why they came to the party. I know that many people came because of Ron Paul or Harry Brown or someone like that. But for me, Gary Johnson was an entrepreneur. And that's what I had been for years. I started the current business I have now in 2004. So I've been an entrepreneur for 8 years. Now, so him I could hear, right? Mm-hmm. I couldn't hear Ron Paul. In my eyes, Ron Paul was another Republican then. Now I love Ron Paul. I've met him many times. I love him now. But back then, I just couldn't hear him. Mm-hmm. So I actually could hear Gary Johnson. And when I heard him, I thought, oh, this guy makes some sense. So these guys are what, librarians? Is that what they are? I didn't know what this even was. I had no idea. I was like, I think they said librarians or something. I just want to check out what these guys are.
What library means.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had no idea. So I was like, okay, so you know what? Let me go check it out. So I actually went and met people, and I was like, oh, this is the party for me. And I joined the party in 2012, and I supported Gary Johnson in 2012. I stayed in different parts of the party in 2013 and 2014. By 2015, I'd become a national member, a state member, and 2 local chapter members. And the reason why I jumped on it so fast was because I'd already been a libertarian in my business world already. Mm. I came to the philosophy actually through a guy named Robert Ringer. Robert Ringer is actually a business guru, and he's an objectivist. He's a big Ayn Rander. I'm not really an objectivist, I'm not an Ayn Rander. But he's the one who was telling me how, this is how you should run your life. This is what's right when it comes to personal and business. And he also encouraged me to read Atlas Shrugged. So I did, and I read Ayn Rand because he told me to. So I read Atlas Shrugged and Fountainhead, and then I started reading others. I started reading other things from that. So I was kind of into it a little bit, but not crazy. But then when I heard Gary Johnson speak and I started into the party, that's when I started to really get it. I had already been teaching post-industrial leadership in my courses for years. I still do it to this day. In fact, I did it today. I work today, and I was teaching post-industrial leadership. So I do for a living. It's how I make my money. It's how I pay my bills. Wow. And post-industrial leadership is not about the old days of do what I say. The factory has to be run. Shut up and don't think. Just work harder. Today's world, I don't care about how hard you work. I don't need your arms and legs. I can buy that overseas. It's not important. I need your initiative. I need your imagination. I need your experience. I need all those things. I can only get them if I have your buy-in. If you volunteer, right? Volunteerism is what new leadership is. And people often say, well, Larry, libertarians don't run anything. How do you know if they can run anything? They run every modern business because they're all run with post-industrial leadership. They're run the libertarian way, which is I have to get my leaders to buy into my ideas. I can't use threat. I can't use force, or they leave.
Right.
Right? And millennials leave in 5 seconds. They don't think twice. They pack up and go. So you can't lead that way anymore. So I was already teaching that. So when I heard what Gary Johnson was talking about, connection for me. Then by 2015, I'm a donor for the party. 2016 comes. And when 2016 comes, I see it's going to be Trump versus Hillary. And I'm like, now is my chance. Now is my chance. I can do this now. So I decided to try to become the vice president. So I ran against Bill Weld to be the VP in 2016, and I lost by 32 votes. Not that anyone's counting. I mean, nobody cares, right? 32 votes. Not that I was counting. I mean, nobody's counting. I don't care about that. Stop acting like I care about that. I didn't say I care about that, right? So stop. I don't care about that at all. It doesn't matter to me. 32 votes. But no big deal. Why keep talking about it? It's no big deal. God. Anyway,
getting so upset?
I lost my 32 votes, and after that, I realized that I was going to have to, still support the party. So I supported the ticket. I'm a party guy. I know the movement is the right answer. So the day that I lost, true story, if you guys were down there, I lost that day. That night, I emceed their fundraiser, and they raised $130,000 for me.
Wow.
That's a big
showing that I'm a party guy. I'm in. I supported the ticket the entire way through.
Right.
I literally showed up for debates instead of Gary Johnson or Bill. I would show up in New York City when they couldn't make it. I'd be that guy. I was on TV for them. I was holding their water on RT, on CBS. I would do it. I didn't care. But at the end, I was worried because I thought at the end of 2016, they're going to go away and we're going to have nothing. So that's why at 2016, when they went away, which I knew they would, I said someone has to pick up this mantle. And I didn't want it to be the same old thing. Let's just wait 4 years and hope for our savior to come.
Right.
Right. I don't want to keep waiting for the next Jesus. That's not what I'm waiting for. Right. So I decided instead, 2018, I'll run. Right. So I'll give people and I'll give them a reason to get behind a campaign. But more importantly, I wanted the Libertarian Party to be stronger. I wanted to build infrastructure. I wanted to build a policy library. I wanted to build actual people who know what they were doing. I wanted to build a donor base. So I did. I just went and did it. I didn't wait for the party to do it for me. I just went and did it. So my team is, as you probably know, was a huge team, and I had over 7 directors. All those directors now are potential campaign managers. My policy library is still at LarrySharpe.com. If you want to go there, guys, you had policy issues, go there. The policies are right there. And if you want to donate, you can donate too. Hit the red donate button. So you can if you want to. The policy library is still there. And I'm still doing everything. I'm still talking. I'm still out there. And I've shown people that, I raised $500,000. And here's the most important thing. I ran with an L by my name.
Yeah.
Most of our people who are running don't run with an L by their name.
Yeah.
They run with nothing by their name or an R or a C. I ran with an L by my name. And I was the most popular guy run by an L by the name. And every single thing I said, it was Larry Sharpe, Libertarian. I wanted to rebrand the party. So I did. I stopped asking others to do it. I just did it. I'm hoping others will copy me.
I love that.
So that's how I got involved.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
How hard is it to get on the ballot in New York? I mean,
Not anymore.
No.
Easy now.
Easy.
It was very hard. It took us 46 years to do it. But now we did it. So now it's easy. I'm actually spending time also building the party out, meaning I'm helping to build the infrastructure out so that we can grow. We have a goal of registering 100,000 libertarians in New York State this year.
Oh, great.
That's our goal. Because how New York State works, for those you don't know, it's very odd. New York State, there's only one way to become an official party in New York State. And that is only one thing. A gubernatorial candidate must get 50,000 votes or more. That's it. Literally, Gary Johnson could have won our state in 2016. We'd have not been a party.
Wow.
He could have won our state, and we could have 2 libertarian senators from New York State. We would not be a party. The only way of doing it, the only way in New York State is 50,000 votes in a gubernatorial election. That's it. And only the governor candidate.
That's so crazy.
That's it. It is. But now we've done it.
Yeah.
Now that we've done it, we'll never lose it.
Great.
That's awesome. Yeah, Dottie says, and you gave us our own line on the ballot.
Aw.
That's correct. We have our own line now. Yes, we do. Absolutely.
That's fantastic.
So what is it like being out and about on the road? I mean, when you were running for governor.
It's still great now. I get recognized every day.
What was that life like, though?
Yeah,
I actually get recognized once a week. I'm teasing. But just yesterday, I'm out walking around my neighborhood in Queens, and a van pulls up next to me. Larry Sharpe, how you doing? So you're on Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
4 guys in a van. Yeah, happens all the time. So luckily they didn't grab me and put a hood over my head and get me out of it.
I know, but
yes.
wait, a van pulled up?
4 guys in the van, no. Yes.
I'm nervous.
Yes. So.
That's so great. Okay.
But running, you were asking about running, right? Running was very hard. And people ask me all the time, Larry, why don't you run in 2020? I can't. I physically can't. I financially can't. To do it, to run well, you've got to take time off from your job. You can't have a full-time job and run a campaign. Doesn't work.
Right.
That's how we used to do it, and that's how we had horrible candidates who would be paper candidates and we get our ass kicked. That's why we couldn't win. I literally took 1.5 years off from my work. I'm an entrepreneur, so I can just stop working. I just not take clients. I just didn't take clients for 1.5 years. So I went without a salary for 1.5 years.
Yeah.
Can you imagine not having a salary for 1.5 years?
No.
However bad your finances would be, mine are. I have a wife who does not work and 2 kids, and I live in New York City. So you can imagine my bills.
Yeah.
So, yes. So now I'm back in action. I'm back to working again. I'm trying to bring back my finances back. And I'm trying to get this remote time with my family. I was on the road crossing New York State. I went to all 62 counties. And I did it on purpose because in New York State, some of you may not know this, there are 62 counties and we only had 20 actual organizations total. So we had 40 counties with no organizations in it.
Oh, wow.
So I went to every single county to ensure every county saw me. So I have some supporters. So I got votes in every county so I could rebuild the party out in every county. I was looking for the future to make sure that every county would be set for the future.
Yeah. Oh. That's long-term.
So that's one of the things I was doing.
Good. Yeah.
I'm a long-term thinker. That's what I am. That's how I work. I'm a long-term thinker. So that I've been thinking about this for a while. So I made this happen. The odds of me being able to run again in 2020 are slim because I'd have to have a financial backing that could support me again, and that would be very hard to find.
Wow.
But if you know any billionaires who want me as the VP, I'm open.
Right.
I'm open.
Yes.
I'm open.
Anybody out here?
Anybody watching?
If a billionaire happens to be watching who wants to be president, wants to be the VP, yeah, I'll look at it.
You never know who's going to.
You never know.
Now, are you going? You're going to maybe possibly skip running this next time around, but are you ever going to go for the vice president again? Are you ever going to go any higher than governor? Or are you kind of just setting your sights now on like we're going to make New York?
This is going to be our hill.
Yeah, this is going to be.
Well, the issue is, it's a good point, right? That's the old saying, right? What hill do I want to die on, right? And I am a Marine, so I do think that way, obviously. And one of the reasons why New York is so important is this is the front line. I mean, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez is my congressman. Yes, AOC is my congressman, right? Not just that. Trump is from my county. So I live in the belly of the beast. I am on the front line, right? So what happens in New York, if we can change New York, we can change the country. So yeah, it's important for me to be here and try to make change here. New York was ranked 50th when it comes to freedom by Cato. We beat California. Take that. So yes, we were the absolute worst. So if we can change New York, we can change the entire country. So it's important that I do what I can to make New York a better place. And right now, there's no other libertarian in New York State who can do that. Right? I'm hoping that will not be true in the future. I'm hoping that we can draw more people into the party so that I'm not the only guy who can do that. But right now, it's really just me. I'm the guy who travels the state. I'm the guy people still show up for. And the best part is, I mean, a lot of people showing up to my events now who didn't vote for me.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's
awesome.
You were working on.
Yeah.
Yes, because they're like, you know what? I should have voted for this guy. Yeah, you should have.
You should have.
Absolutely. You should have.
Maybe next time.
Maybe next time.
Though all this long-term thinking and really being, I mean, this makes sense, like in that being in New York and making the change.
The other parties do this. Why shouldn't we?
I like it, but you're making sense.
Are we ready for prime time or not? I'm ready for prime time.
Right?
I hope you guys are.
Absolutely.
Now,
this is great.
Now you're talking to a lot of anarchists right now who have just given up on voting. Do you have anything?
Oh, they get so mad at me. They get so mad at me.
Especially like
look, if you're an anarchist, you should not be mad at me. And here's what I'm saying. I mean, you are going to be anyway, no matter what I say. But I'm going to say it anyway for those people. You shouldn't be mad at me. And the reason is, you anarchists, I am the only mainstream guy who does not want to throw you out of the party. All the mainstreamers can't stand anarchists. They all want to throw them out.
They're afraid of them.
I'm the only guy who has openly said more than once, I don't want anarchists out of the party. They are the North Star of the party. Without them, we're going to become Democrat light or Republican light, whoever more people come from, right? If more come from the left, we become Democrat light. More come from the right, we become Republican light. Without anarchists, that's the future of our party. We have to have the hardcore people in the party to keep us pointing in the right direction. My problem with too many anarchists is they're so damn angry. Just stop being so damn angry, right? And then they get mad at me because they say, well, Larry's bringing people to the party. Why are you mad at me? That's my job. That's what I'm supposed to be doing. Now, you anarchists have a couple of options. Option one, I'm mad because they're not perfect yet. That's option one. Too many of you take that option. But there's another option. which is, Larry, thank you for bringing newbies to the party. We'll take it from here.
We'll finish their training.
Oh.
We'll finish their training. That's what you should be saying, right?
Yeah.
Thank you for bringing them this far. We got you. Go back out, bring us some more. We got you.
Nice way to look at
That's what you should be doing. Yes. Then you have to realize if we're going to grow the party, most people, when they come to the party, they're nowhere near libertarian. Mm-hmm. When they first come to the party, they're just angry at their party.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right? Their party isn't doing what they want it to do. And they're unhappy or disenchanted or they don't see progress.
Yeah.
So they come to us. So their first inclination is usually, well, if I come from the left, let's make this Democrat right. If I come from the right, let's make this Republican right.
That's
their
anything to say about that.
All I'm saying is, don't be angry.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Don't be angry. I get you. I get you. Come on in. Let's keep talking. And then we can move them into the right direction, right? So if you're listening, anarchists, those who aren't still mad at me, maybe you could, take these people I'm bringing in and complete their training.
I like that. I like that. And the gay brothers here say that they
the couple of
are not
anarchists
mad
that are
at
happy
you.
that
Yeah,
you're
they're
here.
anarchists and totally
Yay.
not mad at you at all.
Yay.
Now, I see a lot of
You're not all mad at
people
me.
asking about the direction of the national party and its chances going forward. How do you feel about where they're heading?
I think we're in trouble.
Oh.
I think we're in trouble. I'm being forward. I think we're in trouble, which is why I don't do much national. I don't really do much because
They don't
bad.
have enough anarchists?
No, it's just that, look, last year, to be forward with you guys, we got our ass kicked last year.
Mm-hmm.
We did. Most third parties did, and we were no exception. We got our ass kicked last year. We fell back into our old ways of, let's throw 1,000 people on the ballot line, which is a terrible idea. And there's still too many people who think one or two things. One, it's a waste of time to grow. That's option one. The other one is, the second we get a chance, let's just get tons of candidates. That is a bad idea. You put 2,000 candidates out there, you've just destroyed our party, which is what happened last year, right? What happened? You threw a bunch of candidates out there. The candidates were not prepared. They had no people behind them. They had no movement behind them. They had no money behind them. So I had people getting mad at me because Larry's taking all of our money. What? I'm taking all your money? Why don't you go out and raise money? I did. Go raise money. Well, we don't know how. I know. That's why you shouldn't have run. You should have instead jumped on my bandwagon, helped me in my party. I would have shown you how to raise money. You would have learned from me, and then you could run this year or the next year and raise your money. We need a few good, powerful candidates to build out infrastructure to show people how it's done so that now we can have better candidates. The logic is, but Larry, if we have someone on the line, then it's advertising for us. That's a bunch of bullshit, right? Advertising for what?
Yeah.
Libertarian. No one knows what it is.
The librarian?
No one has a clue. So Jane Doe is a Libertarian Party candidate. So no one knows what that is or what she stands for. It's irrelevant. I'd rather have nobody there. Instead, have someone who's running someplace else, who's a good candidate with a very good team, who knows how to get press, who knows how to write policy, who knows how to raise money. So now that person crosses over. Over half of my money and supporters came from outside of New York State.
Really?
That's what we have to do. More and more and more. That's what we have to do. A couple of very good candidates that build infrastructure. There are liberty-leaning candidates that would run libertarian, but they won't now. And the reason is they have no reason to. We have nothing to give them. We have nothing to offer them. We don't have a strong donor base. We don't have strong fundraisers. We don't have good teams. We don't have good ground game. We don't have any of that. Let's build that out. So when they come to us, we go, we got you. The second you come to us, we've got all the people you need to build a team out and to run. Mm-hmm. That's what we need. So that's what I'm doing.
That's great.
I'm just in awe right now. I'm sorry. I love what you're saying.
No, it's really, really interesting to listen to you talk.
It is.
And Dadman wanted us to let you know that we did have Vermin Supreme on here 3 weeks ago.
Yep. I saw him last weekend. weekend in Pennsylvania.
Get out of here!
That
What?
guy travels. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yep. From last weekend. Yeah. Vermin Supreme is going to make impact.
He does, yeah.
Yeah.
He is going to make impact. He's not going to win the nomination, I don't think, because libertarians, when we get to the convention, sadly, we tend to fall back to what's safe.
Yeah.
Just like everyone else, we fall back to what's safe.
Yeah.
So regardless of how savvy he is, and he is savvy. If you've met and talked to him, you know.
Oh, yeah.
He's actually a very smart man. He's very savvy. I've talked to him more than once.
He won a lot
savvy.
of people over on the stream.
It's crazy. Because,
And he's funny.
yeah.
And he's funny.
You know, all you see in the media is the boot on the head and all
toothbrush.
this, the toothbrush and stuff. But when he was actually like talking with us,
Breaking it
you know,
down,
you really heard the things that he believes and where he came from.
Absolutely.
And stuff. So
yep, absolutely.
it was very interesting.
But the party, the delegates will fall back to what's safe.
Yeah.
And he's not safe.
No.
Yeah.
So they're not going to vote for him. It's just how it's going to work. So, but he'll make impact, and that's the issue. And that's what he wants, I think, actually. I think what he really wants is impact. I actually I don't know him well enough to know this for sure, but my gut would tell me his actual goal is to make impact, and I think he'll do it.
Yeah.
And I think that's very important. I mean, just, you know, like you said,
of course.
Doing and what he's doing, growing
in 2016, when I had to put my token in for the presidential debate, my token went in for Darryl Perry. And the reason why I put in Darryl Perry is because I wanted Darryl Perry's voice on the debate stage.
Yeah, yeah.
I didn't think he was going to win. I didn't. I thought they would go safe. I was pretty sure they'd go Gary Johnson. I was 90% sure that Gary was going to win in 2016.
That's the guy.
But I still wanted Darryl Perry's voice to be on the stage. That's why I put my token in for him. And Vermin Supreme will probably be on the stage. It's fine. I don't care. People get mad if he's on the stage. We'll get mad, but I don't care. I don't care. Whatever. It's fine.
What are your thoughts on the other libertarian candidates who are running? You know, like Austin Peterson and John
He's running?
Duffy?
Well, I mean, last
time.
Yeah, I don't even know who's running this time.
back. Not now.
We're so unplugged.
You mean 2016?
Yeah,
I'm sorry. I'm like,
back,
Austin's running now. What happened? He came back? No one told me.
That's back when we were paying attention.
I'm behind.
Okay.
I'm like 5 years behind on everything.
You're going to ask me about Bob Barr? Boo. Boo. Don't do that. Boo. No. Austin's fine. I'm an Austin fan. And it makes people get mad when I tell them I'm an Austin fan, but I am. I'm a big fan of a lot of libertarians. And this is what makes people angry. Because I'm a really big tent libertarian. I really am. I'm a very big tent libertarian. People always try to get me to hammer Gary Johnson. Never. I'm loyal to Gary Johnson. Because without him, I'm not a libertarian. Yeah. So if right now Gary were to call me up and say, Larry, come to New Mexico and raise money for me, I would get in the plane and I'd fly to New Mexico and I'd raise money for him.
Oh,
and he knows about it. I've done it before. I've gone down to D.C. when he says, Larry, come and raise money for me. I go down and raise 20 grand for him because he asked me to. I'll do it. I'm very loyal to him.
That's neat.
So
ability.
Austin Peterson asked me to do a video for libertarians in Missouri. I did it. I did a support video for him because he asked me to. I did it. So I'm all about support. The big parties support each other all the time. Why shouldn't we? Right? I wanted Austin Peterson to come back to the party. But after he lost and the way the party treated him and the way he treated the party, that's probably not going to happen. I'm disappointed. I wish he had come back. And people say, well, wait a minute. He's a Republican. So we have right-leaning libertarians. I don't care. Yeah. Right? He's a savvy guy. He's liberty-leaning. He can debate. He's fearless. And he can go out there and fight. I'd have taken him. Look, here's the reality. We have a very limited talent base. We have a very limited talent pool. That's a fact. And I'm a business guy. And when I have a limited talent pool, I'm also Marine. If I get a couple warriors, they're not perfect, they fight, I'll take them. I got a war to win. So I would have taken Austin Peterson back in a heartbeat. I just would have taken him back. And people got mad at me. I don't care. I'm taking him back. I would have. Yeah. But those days are over. So that's done. I'll take McAfee back. People don't like McAfee. I will take McAfee back. Absolutely. The guy gets press.
Yeah.
The guy gets people talking about him. The guy's he's definitely libertarian.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Definitely.
For sure.
I would take McAfee back. Absolutely. I would take it back, too. So, look, I'm a real big tent guy. People get upset, right? They tell me all the time, well, Larry, then these guys are going to take over the party. Here's the thing that people don't understand. When it comes to Democrats and Republicans, they don't actually have a party. They have tribes. What I mean by that is they don't have an ideology.
Yeah.
Right? They don't have that. How do you know this? Look back at them. If you're old enough, I've got some gray hair. Anybody listening or watching has some gray hair, you know. Think about a Reagan Republican versus a Bush Republican versus a Trump Republican. These are different Republicans.
Yeah.
Because the king of the tribe is different.
Yeah.
Look at a Carter Democrat versus a Clinton Democrat versus an Obama Democrat. Different Democrats. Because the king was different.
Yeah.
Right?
Principle.
If you're a member of the Republican Democratic Party, whatever the king says is the policy. Right? The God King Trump says the wall's important. The wall's important because the God King says so. Right? That's why.
National emergency.
If you go back 10 years ago, you got Democrats saying the wall is a good idea and Republicans saying it's a bad idea 10 years ago. Now, Republicans say it's a good idea, Democrats say it's a bad idea. Why? The God King has spoken.
Just rooting for
right?
the team.
That's how they run. Now, Libertarian Party is different. Libertarian Party actually has an ideology. I can call myself King of Libertarians all day long, and they'll laugh me off the stage.
Don't tell me what to do.
Right? That's not going to work.
Right.
It's not going to work at all. Right? So it's not going to work. I can't be there. There is no king of libertarians. It doesn't work because we have an actual ideology. That's one of the reasons why we fight so much. Because just because Larry Sharpe says he's libertarian doesn't mean it is.
It's not a real libertarian.
That's correct. Doesn't mean it is. If the God King Trump says it's Republican, it's Republican. If you say it's not, you are a heretic. You want to be excommunicated.
Yes.
Right?
Move to Somalia.
If Bernie says that it's not Democrat, well, then clearly you get excommunicated and you got to go. He's comrade, right? They don't call him God King. They call him comrade. A little different, right? Yes, a little different. So if Comrade Bernie says it's right, then that's democratic rules. That's it.
Speaking of Austin Peterson, he just joined.
Oh, hi, Austin.
Hey, Austin.
I don't know. My chats are freezing up, so I don't know exactly where we're at in the timeline there.
I love it.
I see. He just
As I said, by the way, Austin, you weren't here. I would happily take you back in the Libertarian Party.
Very nice
I just said that
thing to
about 10 minutes ago.
Yeah.
I'd happily bring you back. Absolutely. So, yes. We need more warriors, as I always say. I'd be happy to have them.
Burning.
Oh, that's why he's here. He's like, was somebody talking about me?
Yeah, ears are burning. I was talking about you, Austin. Sorry.
I'm loving this.
Yeah, this is fantastic.
This is so great. I really like your outlook on things.
But it's one of the reasons why we fight so often, right?
Yeah,
And I'm actually okay with the fighting.
Yeah.
Because we're fighting over an ideology. We're not fighting over who's the current leader, right? We're fighting over the ideology, which is fine. And, people always say the same thing. They say, well, Libertarian Party, it's physically, conservative and socially liberal. And I say it's not true, right? There are a lot of libertarians who are staunch conservatives or staunch liberals. The difference is they don't want to use government force to push themselves on others.
Amen.
That's the common denominator,
Yeah.
right? The common denominator is we don't want to use government force to make things happen. But it also means that we disagree on lots of things. And we fight on the gray areas all the time. We fight in the gray areas all the time. Yes.
To the death.
But yeah, I love that.
Yes.
I always say you can be wrong. That's fine. I'm not going to force you to be right.
I'm just going to argue until you hang up on me. That's all. But I'm still not going to force you. Until you stop blocking me on Facebook. I'm going to keep arguing until you block me on Facebook. But that's it. Otherwise, I'm done. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But I'm not a big arguer. If you know, I say it all the time, I don't want us arguing.
Yeah.
Right? We argue well because we've been winning arguments and losing elections for 50 years. I would like to swap that.
Switch that.
I want to swap that. Let's win elections.
That's fine.
And lose arguments.
Yeah.
Right? I'm totally fine. I talk all the time. I don't want to argue. I don't want to debate. I want to have conversations. I want to have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of conversations. The reason why the third way in the liberty movement is the only way, because what I just talked about. We have an actual situation where we are further and further divided, left and right, further and further divided, and it's getting worse.
It's crazy.
And the problem is now, it's the idea of embracing, right? The left says, not only must you tolerate what I feel and what I think is correct, no, you must embrace it. You must embrace who I am. You must embrace what I feel. You must embrace it. And the right goes, whoa, I don't need to embrace this.
Right.
Look, you can go do your crazy stuff wherever you want, but you can't. No, I don't have to embrace it. And the right fights back. And now when the right fights back, they're exactly the same thing. No. I'm the right guy. You must embrace who I am. And the left goes, oh, are you going to force me to embrace this? No way. So both are forcing embracement.
Yeah.
It's not working. We're fighting back.
And then overcorrecting.
The only way to get around this is the third way, which is our way, which says, I don't care how liberal you are. I don't care how conservative you are. Just stop forcing your views on us.
Yes.
Just leave me alone.
Yeah.
You want to be liberal? Awesome. You want to be conservative? Awesome. Just don't force me to be you, and we'll be okay.
Right.
It's the only way, because here's the other problem we don't realize. The country is not, as people might think, like during the Civil War, it was North versus South. It doesn't exist anymore. Our country is balkanized. What do I mean by that? It's cities versus rural. Every single state is red. Every state's red. The question is, do they have enough blue city dwellers to turn it blue? If they have enough city dwellers, the state's blue. Now, New York is a very blue state, but look at the actual state itself. Everything outside the cities, deep red.
Very rural. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, deep red. Deep red, right? All the cities are blue. Now, New Yorkers get mad. It's all New York City. It's not just New York City. It's New York City. It's Albany. It's Rochester, Buffalo. It's Syracuse. It's all Ithaca. It's all the cities, right? They are turning the entire state blue. Now, what does that mean? That means there's no real north, south, east, west, right? The cities of Georgia are just as blue as the cities of New York.
Oh, yeah.
Just as blue.
And that one.
This is a problem. We have to fix this problem. If we don't, we're going to have a horrible time in our nation.
Yeah.
We're going to be fighting brother against brother inside each individual state. It's going to be horrible. We don't need that. It's a big problem. And what most people don't understand is the entire country is moving left. And people go, no, it's not true. Yes, it is. It's 100% true. It's moving left. And by any way you measure it. And the number one reason this is happening is urbanization. That's the number one reason. Because since 2008, there's been almost no recovery outside of cities, right? Once the crash hit, look outside of cities. Not much recovery. Oh, yeah. People are still rushing to cities. As the youth rush to cities, they become blue. They become liberal. So the country's turning left. Not just that. If you're 30 years old now, 28, 30 years old now, you spent the last 10 years and life hasn't been good for you. But here's the worst part. 22 years before that, you were given a participation trophy for showing up for everything. You were told you were wonderful because you were born, which means you're by default awesome. You were told if you follow the rules and get a college degree, there'll be a job waiting for you. All of that was lies.
Yeah.
And now you're sitting at 6, 7, 8 years, you follow the rules, you're $100,000 in debt, and you don't own anything. And you don't see a future of you owning anything. You don't own a car, you don't own a house, you don't own any of these things. And you don't see a future. When you don't see a future, the system lied to you, you don't own anything. You know what looks really good to you right now? Socialism.
Socialism.
Free stuff.
Yeah, it does.
Free stuff.
Yeah, it does. Looks very good to you. Yeah, it does.
Oh, my gosh.
I'm not mad at them. I'm not. We have to give them a better answer.
Okay.
Yeah.
We have to give them a better answer. We can't just get mad, because when people are afraid, they make bad decisions. That's simply human nature, right? When groups of people are afraid, they scream for one of two things. They scream for a strong man, Donald Trump, or they scream for socialism, as Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. They scream for one of those two. And those people showed up. We yelled for them, and they showed up.
Yeah.
We can't just yell, Trump is evil. It doesn't work.
No.
We can't just yell, socialism is evil. It doesn't work.
Yeah.
If we don't give them another answer, they just fall back into one of those two. And the sad part is both of those end in dictatorship.
Yeah.
That's where they end. They're different routes, but they go to the same spot.
Yeah.
Dictatorship.
Wow. Yeah.
These are some deep thoughts here. I need a minute to take that in, because you're right. People are afraid, and so they are making these decisions like, I'm scared this sounds the best, and this is what I'm going to latch on to.
A leader
Because
to take care
afraid.
of them, or a government to take care of them.
Yeah. That makes so much sense.
Yes, you're finding it again and again and again.
Got lots
and
of
again, it makes it easy when you simply have a black and white world, right? You're with us or against us, right? The story I bring up all the time is there was a guy when I was traveling the state. He was a farmer. He was about to lose his farm. This was a 7-generation farm in upstate New York. And he was telling me about this horrible story. He was in debt, how bad it was. And I was like, oh my God, this is terrible. Guess what question he asked me?
I don't have a guess. What do I do?
Well, if you were losing your farm, a 7-generation farm, you were in debt, I'm running for governor, you're in front of me, what would you ask?
How are you going to help me?
How are you going to help me?
No. He said, what do you think of Trump?
Oh! Wow.
That's terrible.
Yeah.
And the reason why it's terrible is, who cares?
Right.
You're going to lose your farm. Whether Trump is president or not, your farm's still gone.
Right.
Right? Whether I think Trump is the best thing that ever happened or the worst thing that ever happened, it is irrelevant. It means nothing to you. But he had to decide if he could trust me or not based upon that answer.
Oh.
Because he picked sides.
Yep.
He picked sides. Are you with us or are you against us?
Oh.
But
this is not healthy.
Yeah.
It's
No,
so
it's
creepy.
not.
It is really creepy.
It's not healthy.
Yeah.
But I saw it again and again and again. I saw people when I'm in a black church get up and walk out of the church because I wasn't Democrat.
Wow.
Yes. This is both sides. This is not just Democrats and Republicans.
Yeah.
It is both. Absolutely. So they would literally get up and walk out the church. They would just ask me, what party are you with? Libertarian? Boop, out they go.
Oh my gosh.
Because you must be racist or something.
Clearly I'm a racist. Clearly I'm a racist. Clearly. What else could I be?
You're not a Democrat.
Oh my gosh.
Absolutely.
Wow. How do you handle that kind of stuff? I mean, when you see
just
them
keep
go,
going.
you just keep going
Just
forward.
crush it down in your brain like, whoa.
Yeah.
Look, what I always say, and I keep trying to push, I just don't want us to be so damn angry. People are just in trouble. People are confused. People are angry. People are scared. We don't need to be angry. We have to be the guy. We don't want to be the guys who go, "You're not good enough for us." That's terrible. We need to be the guys and gals who go, "We're here. Come. We've got some answers for you." Yeah, come on. We've got some answers. Come on.
Talk.
If we're that party, they will come to us. If we're not that party, they're going to stay in their old ways, or they just give up and not vote.
Yeah.
One of the two. One of the two. So I'm just not mad. That's all I'm saying. They're wrong. They're 100% wrong. I'm 100% right. Sorry, it's true.
Yeah, that's okay.
I'm just not mad about it.
I'm just not angry that they're wrong.
I'm just not mad about it. It's fine. I get it.
Wow.
Why is Dadman talking about a black Sharpie joke?
Oh, Dadman wants to know.
He loves the. He once did he tried to do a joke, right? Saying I want a black Sharpie, and he put a picture of me for a Sharpie, right? But I always carry a black Sharpie with me.
He
The sign thing. So I blew his joke totally.
Yeah.
It was like black Sharpie, and I was like, haha, here we go, I had it.
Because you have to
When
be
I'm
prepared.
out at events, I sign things often. So I bring both a black Sharpie and a gold Sharpie
Yes.
in case the thing I have to sign is dark.
Yes.
Right?
Smart.
Wow.
So if I just had a black shirt or something, I'll sign it with a gold Sharpie. If
guy
there's something else, I'll sign it with a black Sharpie. So I bring it so I can sign stuff.
Yes. That's being prepared.
Yeah.
What did
I do this a lot.
So what's the over-under on Larry having a Sharpie at his desk right now in case I make a black Sharpie joke?
Hold on. I do have one. It's in my jacket. I've got one in my jacket.
Ready to travel.
Too far out of reach. I could get it, but I've got it. I'd have to leave the field of view. But I do have a Sharpie, and it's a little out of reach, but I do have one. Yes.
Good. That's good that you're ready.
I am. You never know. You never know.
I really love what you're saying about inviting people into the party, because I started I mean, I became libertarian, you know,
a lot of questions.
With a lot of questions, and then I went,
course.
you know, the slippery slope to, you know,
and luckily I was ahead of her, so I didn't just yell at her, calling her a dirty statist and stuff like that.
Nice,
Communist.
nice.
But I came in and we have a lot of great conversations on the couch where I can be devil's advocate and say, you know, hey, what about this? And
what about the roads?
You know, yeah. I mean, well, that probably was one of my first ones when I became, when I first decided.
I'm actually surprised how often that is. That's
right.
so common. So common.
It is, and it drives me nuts now.
And one of the insults I get is, why do you hate the roads? I get that one.
So what do you say?
Why do you use the roads?
Yeah.
Well, because I pay for them.
Yeah.
Would be the reason why I use them.
I'm not mad at the roads.
I'm not mad at the roads. The roads didn't be bad to me. Right? I'm not mad at them.
Pay for them.
Right?
What happens when someone says to you, but who's going to take care of the roads? You know, what?
My question is always the same. When did I say we weren't paying for roads?
Okay.
It's my answer.
Mm-hmm.
And
when did I say that?
Just want to redirect it.
Yeah.
No, they constantly say, you hate kids or whatever. You want to kill people. Great. When did I say that?
Yeah.
Well, I just know you do. Oh, you read my mind?
Oh, he's answering questions with questions.
Yeah, 100%. A savvy politician knows you don't have to answer all questions. In fact, the savvy executive knows this, right? If you're in the press at all, you know you don't have to answer a question, right? Particularly when they do the old, you know, the old, it's a simple yes or no question. They do it all the time, right? Mm-hmm. I remember I was at one debate. It was in it was Queens, and the guy says, the Mises Institute says, to make everything work, you have to get rid of this and that and this and that and these 15 things you must get rid of. Do you want to get rid of these 5 things or 10 things, whatever it is? I said, wow, that's a lot of things. Here's what I do want to do. I want to build out this and build out that. It's a yes or no question. I said, yes or no? So you give me 10 things, and in 1 minute I'm going to say yes to 10 things? I said, tell you what, give me 10 minutes. I'll talk to you about each one of them separately.
Right.
So that was my answer.
Yes.
It's like, yeah. Because
like
you decide you're going to beat me up, I'm going to sit here and get smacked? Don't think so. No.
Oh, yeah, it's like one of those.
I had one guy who got mad at me and said, you know, this is a yes or no question. I said, why? Because you say so.
Oh.
Well, I said, okay, no worries. No worries. Have you finally stopped kicking puppies? And he said, what? I said, have you finally stopped kicking puppies? It's a yes or no question.
Oh my
God.
You
asked the question or not? Have you stopped kicking puppies or not?
Answer the question.
Answer the question, yes or no? Oh, you have stopped. It's about time.
No, you
It's about time you stopped.
That's beautiful.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. I feel like
Do
I
you
can
like
use
sugar
that.
or cocaine?
Exactly.
It's a yes or no question.
It's a yes or no question. What's wrong with you? Yes or no question.
Oh my gosh.
So do you snort your heroin or inject it? Which one? Stop. What do you do?
Oh.
It's a simple question. Do you snort it or do you inject it? What's wrong with you? That's it. Answer the question. Anyway, so yes.
Is there any memorable moment for you on the road? I mean, no matter, you know, if it was when you were running for vice president, you know, candidate or governor, that you feel like, this person is just, this is the worst moment. Like,
well, maybe the best.
Somebody.
Yeah, you know, but I wasn't on the road. The hardest part, and if you've ever watched any third-party campaigns, the vast majority of third-party campaigns, at one point you realize the war is over. Mm-hmm. Okay. And it's before the war is over. You realize, I'm not going to do what I want to do. I'm not going to have the impact I want to have. It's not going to happen, right? And that happened to me too, right? At one point, if you were following my campaign, at one point, I stopped talking about winning. I started talking about coming in second.
Oh.
Because I started to realize that there was zero chance of coming in first at one point, right? I actually believed when I first started that I had a chance to win. Now, it was a small window, but my thought process was if I could raise about $2 million way before the Republican got in, I could use enough money and energy and time to make it a Sharpe Cuomo race in the media before the Republican got in. That's what I believed to be true. I was wrong. I could not raise $2 million in 6 months. It was just impossible. And one of the reasons why I couldn't do it is because, and this is sad for most libertarians, a lot of libertarian donors They've been burned so much by people who simply haven't an impact and have just quit right afterwards. They don't want to give anymore.
Yeah.
They don't want to give anymore. They're like, why? I give money again. I keep throwing money down a rabbit hole, which is why I spend a lot of time doing things like building out a team, building out a library, building out infrastructure, so that any money you gave to me was actual investment. It didn't just go away.
Yeah.
It's actual investment. That was the goal, right? You actually could see what I was achieving, right? You could see the press I was getting. You could see the people that were coming. We could grow the party. You would see that it was actual investment. That's what I was trying to achieve. But at one point, I started realizing we were in trouble. And the two parts that really hurt. The first one was when CBS 880 ran the debate with just the Democrat, Republican, and not me or anybody else. And they televised that. There were 3 debates, by the way. 2 I was in. The 2 that I was in, I won, not televised.
What?
Well, that's why you didn't.
Yes, not televised. The one that I actually was televised, I wasn't in. At that point, I knew first place is impossible. 3rd place is hopeful. Like, I was like, maybe I can get 3rd place. That's my goal now. I can get 3rd. I can still make some impact. I can still do something. Then there was a poll that came out 3 weeks prior to the election. It was a masterstroke of Republicans. Masterstroke. Perfectly timed. Here's what you may, if you were involved in any campaigns in New York State, detailed, doing internal polling, you would know that throughout the campaign, I was actually polling internally between 6 and 11%. That was my actual polling numbers. Democrats saw that and went, we still win. Don't care. Forget about Larry Sharpe. Larry who? Ignore him. And it shows that was a smart move by them. I was not going to beat them anyway. Republicans saw that and went, uh-oh, we got a problem. This guy might do something to us here. We're in trouble. We have to make sure we come in 2nd. We can't come in 3rd here.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden the stories came out. Larry Sharpe's a Cuomo plant. Larry Sharpe is trying to take away pensions. Larry Sharpe's this horrible guy. But the problem is that wasn't working as well as they wanted it to work. Because while it was turning off some Republicans, it was also the Republicans to look me up. And when they looked me up, some of them were like, this guy's not half bad. I like this guy. So it wasn't working anywhere near as well as they wanted it to work.
Yeah.
So they had to do the actual final blow. And that was a poll that came out. Now, this is how they did the poll. Most people don't know this, but polls don't just randomly come out. People buy the polls. I was asking, why am I not in the polls? And they were like, you don't buy the poll. That's why. Buy the poll, you're in the poll. Pretty simple. And I was like, but I don't have $40,000 to buy your poll. They're like, yeah, you're not going to need a poll then. Sorry. That was basically what happened. Absolutely true. That's how it works. If you play this game, that's how it works.
Wow.
So I was like, okay, guess I'm not in a poll. So a Republican PAC bought a poll 3 weeks before the election. And here's how they ran the poll. It's a true story. You can call CNN and ask them. They will tell you this. The polls run this way. Okay, they call you up first. And when they call you up, they say, will you vote for the Democrat, the Republican, or the Green Party candidate? That's it. No one else gets asked. So if you go, well, Larry Sharpe, they go, he's not an answer. But Larry Sharpe, he's not an answer. Then they either hang up, you don't count, or you go, fine, I'll do Molinaro then. Okay, great, Molinaro, thank you. Next. The next person gets Democrat, Republican, or Independent. Democrat, Republican, or Libertarian. Democrat, Republican, or nobody. Democrat, Republican, or anybody else. So I got mentioned 1 in 5 questions.
Wow.
So even if I were able to get every single time, the max I could have gotten, if I got every time, was 20%. Max. If I could have gotten it. Obviously, I wasn't going to get max, right? So what happens, you know, the poll will say, at the bottom of a poll, it'll say, the third-party candidates shared X%. If you ever see at the bottom of a poll, that means the poll was run that way.
Wow.
So, of course, what happens? The Larry Sharpe vote, or any non-Cuomo vote that wasn't there, is skewed towards the Republican, which is the non-Cuomo, right? So Molinaro's percentage went up. When his percentage went up, the headline said, Republican closing the gap.
Oh, my God.
Republican closing the gap 3 weeks before the election. All the Republicans who were like, I want to vote for Larry Sharpe said, whoa, my guy might win? Oh, I'll vote for him. I'm not voting for Larry Sharpe. Or the Democrats who were like, I like Larry Sharpe said, oh, the Republican might win. No, I'm voting for Cuomo. So I literally lost hundreds of thousands of votes on that last thing. And I knew that. And when that happened, that's when I knew the ball game was over.
Yeah.
That's when the war was over. At that point, I use this analogy often. If you like football, it's like there's 45 seconds left in the game. You're down by 8 points. You're charging down the field to try to get that Hail Mary pass.
Yeah.
You throw the Hail Mary pass. They intercept it, run it back for a touchdown.
Oh.
Now you're behind by 15 points. 30 seconds left in the game.
Right.
Do you really want to get back out in the field? You don't.
Oh.
But if you're a championship player, what do? You get back out in the field.
Yeah.
Go for those stats.
So I got back out in the field. And I was out there. And if you remember, literally the last day, election day, I did a 3-hour go live on Facebook saying, vote for me. Get out there. Vote for me. What I was trying to show is that even though I wasn't going to win, that I was going to take it to the end, that I was going to empty the tank, that I was going to sprint to the finish, that we were going to make this happen, and that I wasn't done. And that every single person who supported the Republican candidate in New York State in 2018 literally threw their money in the garbage. Nothing changed. He's gone. Nothing happened.
Yeah.
Cuomo won and is still crushing our state. But if you supported me, I'm still here. I'm not done. Our party's still growing. Our movement's still growing. You savvily invested your money in an investment that is still paying off. That is still paying off. Because when people run in the state, I go there and I support them and I raise money for them. Right? I was in Pennsylvania. I raised $2,500 for the Pennsylvania Libertarian Party just last weekend.
Yeah, that's
right. I went there on my dime. I went there and raised money for them. I was upstate and I raised money for Dwayne Whitmer, who's running for Congress in Western New York. I'll be up there again April 14th. I'll be raising money for him again. Whatever you spent, you invested in me, I'm paying you back now. It was an investment. By the way, if you want to keep investing, LarrySharpe.com, click donate, invest what you can. By the way, I do happen to like monthly donations, 10, 20 bucks. Helps me get over to travel, gas, diners, all that kind of cool stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But yes, it's still an investment.
I love that you're out there, that you're not just waiting till the next time around, you know.
Start asking for more money again.
Yeah, but you're out there right now still trying to, fuel
Well,
the
I told
fire.
people that the campaign was about more than just me. And I wasn't joking, right? I'm trying to talk the talk and walk the walk. So I'm trying to help others now, right? I'm out there helping others. I'm running a fundraiser for the Libertarian Party of California in 3 weeks from now, I think. I forgot. I'll be in California. I'm doing a fundraiser for them. I'm emceeing their banquet or something I'm doing. I forgot what I'm doing. But I'm doing something there. So yeah, I'm doing that too. So I'm trying to show people that we should support each other. We can support each other. We can't just be angry because we lost and walk away. We got to stay in this movement and keep going. So how do I do that? I can't use force. I'm libertarian. So I use example. So follow my example. I'm doing it. You do it. Yes.
Yeah, be the example.
It's a beautiful example. It really is.
It is. It makes me want to get out there and just
almost.
No, I miss that. I miss that.
We're out there activists in 2011. We that's when we discovered Ron Paul, and we just went head first into that. And then to watch that play itself out, we kind of got really heavily jaded and just kind of,
That's where we ended up. We kind of died in our spirits.
just to see the political machine do what it does,
but you are standing up and saying, "Let's keep on moving."
You took that same kind of hit with that poll there, and you're still out there doing it.
I am a Marine.
Sherry noticed that. Sherry's like, is he wearing a Marine shirt?
Voluntary Canadian.
I am. Yes, I am. So.
Wow.
We keep going. We keep going. We don't stop. We keep going. The war's not over yet, right? We fight till the war's over. The war's not over. Yeah. Gotta keep fighting. Absolutely.
Like a pep talk like this every day.
I love that. Look, you can watch my videos. I do a lot of content. I do a lot of podcasts. And the reason why I do a lot of podcasts is podcasts are the future.
Yeah, the kids love it.
They are the future of media.
Yep.
They absolutely are. And people don't see it. They haven't gotten it yet. It's the future of media. And if I run again in 2022, I'm going to need podcasts again. If I want to raise money for whoever our presidential candidate is in 2020, I'm going to need podcasts again, right? I'm going to need that same medium again. So I'm doing it now so people see me, because what people need to know is that if I'm on, I'll be entertaining. People want to watch.
Oh, yeah.
They will begin to grow. They gain from me being on. If the podcasters see that, they'll keep having me on. It's just human nature, right? It's how it works. Well, then great, I can come on and then talk about whatever candidate's running for president, or if I'm running again in 2022. And so it's mutually beneficial. That's the goal, right? I want to make sure that happens.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm doing all kind of podcasts. And the best thing is, whatever your viewership is now, 3 years from now, it'll be more.
That's awesome.
But the next thing is, podcasts are niche media, right? And we have a lot of niche media out there. And the advantage of niche media is, I have so many things I could be doing now, right? You could be watching Netflix. You could be listening to another podcast. You could be watching YouTube. You could be sleeping. There's many things you could be doing right now, right?
Yeah.
But you've chosen to listen to this podcast or watch this show, which means if you've done that, you care. So when people on this show talk, you listen.
Yeah.
So why wouldn't I want to be on a podcast? You're listening. If I go to some, whatever, CBS is awesome. I love that. But it's a clip they do for 10 seconds. They pull out the crappiest clip to make me look as dumb as possible. They throw that clip out, and that's all they get. And the mainstream media hasn't figured out that the youth don't actually like the soundbite anymore.
Yeah, we don't watch TV.
They like the long form.
Wow.
Which is, I'm very good at long form. I've been practicing long form for a long time. I did over an hour on Glenn Beck, 2 hours on Joe Rogan, over an hour on Dave Rubin, over an hour on Dave Smith.
Wow.
Right? So I'm good at long form.
Like that,
I can just keep going. So when the time comes, I'm trying to train other people to be good at long form.
Yeah, I think we're good.
So you ask me a question, I go on for 20 minutes. I have very few ums and ers and ahs. I get rid of all those things too. It's not fair. I actually train this for a living. I train presentation skills for a living. So it's kind of not fair. But anyway, so this is what I do, right? So I've been doing this forever, and I keep doing this, and more of us have to be able to do this. Long form podcast is the answer for our future, because the mainstream media is not going to help us at all. The reason why I wasn't the mainstream media, I asked them. They were like, well, because you don't buy ads. So if you buy ads in the mainstream media, you get in the mainstream media. I didn't have enough money to buy ads in the mainstream media, so I couldn't get mainstream media. But I was still able to do rallies with 200 people without one TV ad.
That's great.
All through social media.
Yes.
Yeah, that's huge.
That is huge.
Yep. Absolutely.
Yeah, I can't believe it. Everybody thinks that the new generations have short attention spans, but you're saying
not at all.
They like these 2-hour podcasts, and
they do.
Because people stick with us, and we'll be on here for like 6 hours just talking about nothing.
Absolutely. Yes. 100%. No. We are all about that. The issue is, as an old saying, well, a video has to be 2-3 minutes. That's total garbage.
Yeah.
A video has to be interesting.
That's true. Yeah.
So it has to be interesting. If you want to hear somebody talk, you'll listen because you want to hear them talk. So what they're saying, if you don't want to hear them talk, you stop. You do something else, right? So you've got to be able to give good, interesting content constantly.
Yeah.
Do that well, people listen. So I actually spoke at a college, I think it was St. Lawrence College in the North Country of New York State. I spoke for 4 hours, and people stayed there. Q&A, Q&A, Q&A. 4 hours long, they stayed the whole time. They stayed for 4 hours. Just sat there and listened to me talk. Ask me questions, I answer the question. End of the question, do another one. All good. And if you ever notice, I never use notes.
Yeah,
Mary
never,
writes
I
notes.
did the entire campaign, never had a note in my hand.
I write the notes and then I forget them upstairs, but I guess they're in my brain because I wrote them down.
Same thing. See? Perfect. Yes.
Yay. Oh, this is so exciting.
It's a lot of fun.
So it's the weekend.
It's a lot easier to be able to talk when you actually have principles.
Oh,
it is.
That's true. That's true.
You're
It's a lot easier.
Thinking about how it's going to play over,
Yeah. I have to ask you,
Absolutely.
it's the weekend now. What are you going to do this weekend? Do you have any big plans?
Yes. Tomorrow I hang out with my family. Sunday I have an event in Queens and then Suffolk County. And then Monday, I have an event in the Bronx and Westchester County. I have 4 events this weekend.
Wow.
Yeah, 4 events.
And these are all party events, like libertarian?
Yeah, or just I'm going to show up, people come.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right? I try to support local businesses, so it's always a local business. It's never a franchise or anything. It's a local business.
Yeah.
So I'll just show up at a local business and people show up. I usually get anywhere low end, I'll get 12 people. High end, I'll get 40.
That's great.
Depends on the people show up. Some in that area, they'll show up. Sometimes they'll donate. I'll talk, they ask me questions. We'll do Q&A, and I'll keep the fire moving. I'll often also go live it so people can watch it on Facebook, ask me questions through that, see it to provide more content. I'll do that too. So I'm doing 4 this weekend. Then a weekend after, I may be off. I don't remember. Weekend after that, I go to California for 2 days.
That's great. I love that you're just out there, like like you said, walking the walk,
I have to.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you don't do it, right?
That's true. That's true.
And how am I going to be all self-righteous on you if I don't do this?
Right. Well, I'm sitting in my house.
Yeah, I can't be all self-righteous if I'm not doing this. So, yeah.
Where can people find all of your content? What are your how can they plug into you all across
anywhere you want to plug in? I got it all covered. Social media was the one arena that I actually won on. Larry Sharpe, Libertarian is my Facebook page. LarrySharpe.com is my website. Larry Sharpe Twitter, Larry Sharpe Instagram. Enjoy.
That's fantastic.
And that'll lead them to all your podcasts and videos and stuff like that.
The YouTube page is and the YouTube page is Larry Sharpe for New York. Yeah, Larry Sharpe New York is the YouTube page.
Okay. All right.
Yes. So my YouTube page has, I don't know, dozens of videos, dozens upon dozens of them. My Facebook page, Libertarian, has probably 100 or more videos.
Oh, great.
So much stuff. So yeah, and the website has my policy and a donation button.
Yes, don't forget.
So it has also on the website. Twitter has a bunch on it. Instagram has a bunch of videos on it too. So lots of stuff. And I'm relatively active. Actually, I'm not very active. My volunteer team is still very active.
Great.
So I'm semi-active.
You'll get a reply.
Yes, I'm semi-active. My team is much more active than I am.
Do you prefer, I suppose your team, but do you prefer one platform over another? How do you feel about, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube? Some people find that they really love one or the other. Are you on TikTok? Do you do any music videos?
Did you just say TikTok?
He's not here. One of our friends.
Oh, Jacob,
he's fighting the libertarian.
He's fighting the libertarian fight on TikTok.
I'm not a TikToker. Is that a thing? I'm not a TikToker. No.
I'm not.
I know that Instagram's powerful, and I have not used Instagram to as much as I could because I don't know Instagram very well personally.
Yeah.
I've got to find the right people to Instagram better for me, and I haven't done a good job of that at all. That's been my error. I happen to like YouTube because the videos are there for people to watch. So I like YouTube.
Yeah.
And I like Facebook because I can respond better through Facebook. Yeah. So I prefer that one, but I know Twitter's very powerful and Instagram's very powerful. I just haven't done a good job as I could have done.
Yeah.
If I run again in 2022, I'll do a better job of all of those.
Yeah.
Right, if I do it again.
No, there's
I'll
like
do a better
Snapchat.
Job.
I just don't understand Snapchat
understand.
at all.
There's so many things. I'm like, whatever. I'll stick to my Facebook.
Yes.
But yeah, I like that idea. So you
YouTube.
still have a team working for you, even though you're not actively campaigning for anything right now.
Oh, yeah.
But
look, the issue is people still want to be part of the movement, right?
Mm-hmm.
They don't want to walk away.
No.
Yeah.
So I want to be the guy that they can go, well, I can't find a candidate. I'll help out Larry. Now, many of them will leave me for candidates, and I'm totally happy with that. In fact, some left during my campaign to go to the candidates to get higher positions. I get it. I wasn't mad. That was the goal. Like the goal was to build infrastructure. So I was happy. I said, go take them. It's fine. Some of them hurt, some didn't, but it was still the right answer because I want to grow the party and grow our infrastructure. Mm-hmm. So those who don't have a candidate now, many of them will still stay on my campaign and help out for free, just to stay connected, to stay involved, to be able to still be good, to know what's happening in the movement. They'll do that. Then the candidate will come by and they'll leave. And it's fine. Then I'll find someone else and we'll rotate them through. I'm happy to have that. This is supposed to be a farm. I'm making a farm team. Right? I'm building a farm team. That's the goal. So I'm totally happy with that. So yes, I have volunteers. Some of them stay. Some of them are very loyal and they'll have a candidate and still help me out.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Some won't.
Yeah,
some do. Some just go, no, Larry, my candidate's important to go. So yeah, I actually had one of my guys actually is in Tulsi Gabbard's campaign, and one of my guys is on Yang's campaign,
Okay.
Yeah. So one's at least one of those on Kim Ruff's campaign. So I know a bunch have gone off to other campaigns that I know already. But
do you have thoughts on Yang?
Yeah, I don't know anything about it. All I know is that their memes are just polluting Facebook, and
their memes are awesome. UBI is a terrible idea.
We get a lot of that.
It is a terrible idea.
Mm-hmm.
And not because UBI itself is bad. Logically, I understand the argument completely. I get the argument totally. And in a fantasy unicorn and rainbow world, it would totally work. Well, there's no such thing as leprechauns and unicorns. That's the problem, right? The things that will happen with UBI. The good thing I like about UBI is it actually addresses an actual problem, right? Democrats say the problem is big business and rich people, and Republicans say the problem is immigrants. They're both wrong. The problem actually is technology. That's really the issue. Technology is affecting us far more than anything else, and our government's not ready for it. Our society's not ready for it, and we should be, and we're not. So the thing I like about UBI is it touches a real problem. It's just the wrong answer, but at least it touches a real problem. That's the advantage to it. The second piece is if, and this is a massive if UBI would actually replace every single other form of welfare to include all corporate welfare, all personal welfare at all, that's probably not a bad idea. It's probably cheaper. It probably is. The problem is we don't know what's actually going to happen. The second we have UBI and whatever, we all get whatever, $3,000 a month or whatever that number is to decide, right? I'm going to say, well, yeah, but I'm a vet. So shouldn't I get $3,010? Oh, but you're a single mom. Shouldn't you get $3,025? Oh, but I'm a senior citizen. Shouldn't I get $3,200? Oh, but we can't change UBI. So here's what we'll do. We'll do $3,000 plus the vet gift of X or the single mom gift of Y. What do we just do? Add more welfare. Mm-hmm. So it's not going to stay that. That's number one. Number two, the second thing is, will people stay home on UBI? Of course they will. Some absolutely will. Of course.
You can go check if you want.
So I'm sorry, my son is crying. Dave's going to stay here. And why is my phone ringing this late at night? That scares me. I'm sorry,
they want to talk to me.
Crying. That's more important.
Somebody got our number.
They want to talk to me. It's fine. Tell them I'll talk to them. Whatever, put them on. But the other issue with UBI that's going to be bad is you're going to have people who are actually living off UBI, and it's going to be generational.
Yeah.
If it's generational, now what kind of example do we have for our children, right? If the example is UBI is good enough, and that is now the norm, right? And whatever the government creates as a norm becomes the norm, right? That's what it becomes. Our culture will often adopt government norms as the norm, right? So $15 an hour, that's now what labor is worth. Why? Because government says so, and that becomes our norm. You make less than that, you're getting cheated.
Yeah,
why? Because government says so. So that means $3,000 or whatever that number is the thing that we should all have. So why work harder? It's not required. It's not necessary. And then once you add the next piece, which is healthcare is a right, food is a right, everything's a right, then government has to give you that also, but that doesn't count for $3,000. So now all of a sudden, why bother working? And the problem I have with that is, if you want to stay home and not work, okay, I get it. But if everybody's doing it, then everybody behind that's going to also do the same thing. We're going to have a culture of people who think it's okay to stay home and play video games all day. How is this country how's this nation going to survive? How's it going to innovate? How's it going to thrive? I can't see it. UBI is a really bad idea.
I'm listening. We got a monitor upstairs. I'm sorry, and my wife's answering the phone, and it sounds like it's probably David Gay calling our house or something, which is something he might do. But at least it's not a bad call. You never know. At 11 o'clock at night, nobody ever calls our house. But yeah, yes. I like that how it'll just become just what you live on now is your UBI and the expression of it.
Look, again, I want to give credit where credit is due. It does address an actual problem, and I'm happy about that. I'm glad we're addressing an actual problem. And I get the concept argument behind it. I don't see people are people. And as we say in business, every plan's perfect till you add people.
The wild card.
Yes, once you add people, then all of a sudden things change. So I don't think UBI is a good idea at all. I'm not a fan.
Yeah, I remember reading. I don't read a whole lot, but I remember reading somebody talking about, you know, it's like and that's the thing. If we're going to be giving out welfare anyways, it might as well be fair. But it does set a really bad precedence.
Well, again, to be forward, if it was going to only be that, I might buy it. It's not going to only be that. The second everyone gets $3,000, I'm going to say, or whatever, I'm going to say, but I live in New York City. I need $3,500 or whatever. There's going to be specialty pieces. That's my issue. So
yeah.
That was Dadman.
I'm sorry.
You need to ask about the noodles and chili thing.
Seriously, called my house to say that?
Yeah, because everybody's mad that you haven't asked. Because
everybody's mad.
Well, they've been spamming the comments, and now nobody's commenting because they want to know about his opinion on noodles and chili, and David's upstairs sad, and I have to...
Okay.
What am I supposed to have an opinion on now?
Is it okay to put pasta noodles in chili? Not on, but in. Like, cook your chili with pasta noodles in it.
Oh, okay. It's a food question.
Yeah. And it's
gotcha.
been tearing the group apart lately.
Gotcha. Okay. No.
Wow. That's a very definitive answer for a politician.
Not. Chili does not have pasta in it. That's not chili.
There we go.
So if you want to create another dish, you may. It's just not chili.
Don't call it chili.
It's not chili.
Some kind of Tex-Mex Southwestern soup. That's fine.
It's soup. It's chill pasta. It's chasta. I'm fine with that. You call it whatever you want. It's chiliasta. Wonderful. It's chiliasta. It's not chili.
There we go. We got that all settled.
Done.
Larry Sharpe said so.
Answered. Easy day. The only thing you can put in chili is meat, if you want to. Hence, chili con carne.
Okay, so
chili
we've been getting
with
into
meat.
That. So chili by itself isn't even exclusively with meat.
Doesn't have to have it. It can just be beans.
Oh, but now that's a big one. A lot of people
could be
down south are telling me that chili does not have beans in it.
Doesn't have to.
Okay.
Doesn't have to. Could just have meat. It's fine.
But you have
can
to
have meat, beans. It's some form of protein. Totally fine. Doesn't even have to be beef. Could be chicken. Could be turkey if you want.
I'm fine with
totally
that.
Fine.
Mm-hmm.
It has to have some form of protein. Pasta is a carb. Doesn't work.
No business.
Sorry. No business in chili. Sorry. No business in chili.
Somebody tag Robert or Barbara.
Just letting you know. Sorry, guys. Those are the rules. I don't make them. I just follow them. That's not true. I actually make them and don't follow them. So, yes, I'm lying. So, yeah.
The leader of the party has spoken. Everybody fall in line.
I'm no king of libertarians. Didn't I call myself that a minute ago whenever I did? Yes. So you guys can boo me off the stage. I call myself your ruler. You throw me off the stage. Exactly. So, all right. Well, it's 11 o'clock. I'm going to have to go.
Yeah, that's no problem. Yeah, thanks for staying this long.
Absolutely. I hope I yelled loud enough, everybody.
Oh, yeah. I think they all really enjoyed it. This was great.
Good. All right, guys. Remember, LarrySharpe.com, Larry Sharpe, Common Libertarian Facebook page. Follow me. I'm still in this thing, and I need you in this thing, too. Don't walk away from me. I haven't walked away. You can't walk away.
All right. All right, well, I'll play you off. Thanks a lot for coming in. This was really great and really great talking.
Have a good one, guys.
All right, we'll see
Bye.
you.